Video, welcome in. Brew day video, most likely tasting video within the same video. I've been doing that a lot recently. You guys seem to like it, so I'll keep rolling with it until I hear otherwise, or until I just change my mind. Today is a pale ale with persimmons for half of it, and it's 2 gallons split in half. Hops are going to be Chinook and Citra, going for about 50 IBUs. I'm going to hit it just heavily, well, heavily-ish, at the dry hopping and stuff with the Citra. Yeast is the Brettanomyces clausenii. This vial should be enough split between 2. At least I hope it is. It's only 1 gallons each, so should be about right. And the gravity is like 1050 starting, so it's not too heavy on that. I am mashing pretty high today, 156. I want a little body in this. Also added about 15% flaked oats. Adding a little more body too, hopefully a little more mouthfeel to this. I want this sort of like a thicker, juicier sort of beer. Nothing too dry. And I will probably get more fermentables with the persimmons. Now, the persimmons that I have are from the tree that is out back. Let me show you. That is normally where I do my tastings. That's the table right there that you all know and love. There's the tree. Most of those persimmons are rotted and old. I pulled off about 2 pounds worth, and for this video, for this beer, and I'm gonna use those. So those should be pretty fresh. That's it, that's the basis of the video. There's not much more to it than that. I've never used persimmons in a beer. I also haven't used cryo hops in a while. I also haven't fermented 100% with Brett in a long time. So the idea behind that is the more carbohydrates with Brettanomyces gets a hold of, the fruitier. On paper, I did do an experiment where I did fermenting Brett 2 days, 3 days in, then added like a USO5 or something, and then did a reverse where I did USO5 first, then added Brett second. And, or just some ale yeast, I can't remember what the base yeast was. But regardless, when I added Brett in the second part of it, it was more funky than the initial fermentation. That is just seems to be true from my experimentation, from what people have said and I've heard, and the whole deal. So let's do it. Let's do it. I've already got this started, but let's go back and just show that really quickly. Okay, so I'm going for 5.2. It is 5.4. I'm going to leave it. That's just fine. I'm totally good with that. No worries. I was in the ballpark. For me, that was 2.5 milliliters of lactic acid for my 2-gallon batch, and the water was like 3.65 gallons. For what it's worth. I was going for 1044, and I got 1044. My pre-boil volume is 2.9 gallons. Smooth as butter. Going for like 1050-ish. I'm a little high, whatever. I think 1054 is my exact ending I was going for, and this is showing 1055. Goodness, that's perfect. Citra, cryo hops. You only need half of the amount for your dry hopping, and this is 22% alpha acids. So what I've been doing on my IPAs and hoppier beer for dry hopping, I've been doing a 1/2 ounce per gallon right as I pitch my yeast. So I'm going to do 0.25 ounces in each jug. The one jug is going to get the 0.75 ounces remaining of this 1 ounce packet. The other jug is going to get the fruits. I think it's the best way to do it. I'm going to see what the Citra cryo hops can impart, which I don't think I've used Citra cryo hops, though I did say, I have used cryo hops before. I think Brett can do well under stress, and this will be under stress, because I don't think I have quite enough for what I want to do here. It smells dank. So I'm gonna do, I shook it up pretty good. I'm gonna do half the tube in one and then finish it in the other. Hopefully that's enough. Okay, let me measure my Citra cryo hops out now. So those are still pelletized. So just the vegetal matter is taken out. So you just left the concentration of it. Give these a swirl like I always do. And I'm gonna ferment this at around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I think Brett can go pretty high, but I'll keep it around there. And yeah, so I think we're good here. Clean up. And by the way, what I do is I just pump really hot water through my system. But every 3 or 4 brew days, I do like a PBW, rinse through all my pumps and all that stuff. I also heard recently that you don't necessarily need to vacuum seal your hops. Just keep them as cold as you can. That was on Brewlosophy. I heard that recently on their, I forgot which one it was, the Brew and A maybe one. You can look that up if you want, do more research on your own as far as if you want a vacuum sealer or not. I do have a vacuum sealer. I won't vacuum seal these just because I'll be dry hopping in like 5 to 7 days anyway. I'll just throw it in the freezer. And there you go. So let's go either to the fruiting portion of this or right to the tasting. And I'll let you know with the tasting what I did to fruit it. But let's go to the next step right now. Back. Here we are, yet again, next step. Got my persimmons. They have been in my fridge for a while. I think I picked them a month ago, maybe longer. And they are really bruised and squishy and overripe. Perfect, that's where I want it. I don't know how much I have though. I picked what I thought was about a pound, which is what I want. Let's see, let me get the scale. Oh, I think I'm gonna be good. 3 of them are 0.8. 4 of these, 5 of these out of the 6 I have is 1.5 pounds. Perfect. So I usually go about 1.5 pounds for thicker fruits like peaches and fruits like these. I might throw away any of the ones that, try to pick the one that has like the worst or most squishy, I should say. Okay, now I have in the past froze these. That would be my way of like kind of killing most of the yeast or the bad bacteria, I should say. I'm not gonna do that this time. I'm gonna put it right into the IPA. I have a keg here, and I was hoping to fill it. If I cut up, put it into here and sink it to the bottom for about a week or 2. I do not know if it will fit that. I'm gonna cut this up. You can kind of see them all cut up there. Let's see if they fit in this thing. They just fit. Now I can't sink this, unfortunately. I'm hoping, well, I might try and like squish the fruit down in the keg a little bit. I have like a crusher here, and then maybe try to throw a couple marbles in it, make sure it stays in the beer. All right, now I'm gonna put this in here and press down. All right, put my marbles in the container. Hopefully it's enough weight to keep this down. I'm gonna purge it of CO2 and transfer the beer onto it. I don't know if I said this earlier in the video. I might not have, but my yeast, the Brett yeast never took off. I waited like 4 days, 3 days, something like that. Bought USO5, put that in, took off. And I'm gonna add the cryo hops into my other gallon jug that's behind. It's right behind here, and probably gonna transfer this, the fruited one, bottle it. Then put the dry hop one in the keg and have that in the keg. Let's go to the next step, whatever that is. Tasting video, tasting portion of the video, I should say. I was out of town for a while, went to Europe for 2 weeks. I did do a video, or I should say I recorded some stuff to put a video together. And that'll come kind of soon. A lot to go through on that. But in the meantime, I waited way too long to do this. This beer is probably over the hump of what it should be tasting like. I mean, it's got to be at least, I don't know, 2 months? Somewhere in that range since I brewed this. I definitely kind of messed this up a little bit. I think I just pushed it way too hard with the yeast. And it got really, with the Brett in it and everything. Didn't have enough and the whole deal, and I had to add more. And I did smell this upon bottling and kegging it. It did smell a little bit weird. Color's decent looking. Maybe a little bit in the brown side, so probably maybe a little oxidized. That happens to my beer when I oxidize my beer. So let's do it. So persimmon, here I bottled that, and then I kegged the dry hop one. So the nose on dry hop one is definitely more pronounced. It's definitely that Belgian, sort of a slight phenol-y smell to it. Again, that bread, I think, in there just sort of, with whatever I mixed it with, I believe it was USO5, just sort of was an odd combo, especially because it didn't really take off, wasn't doing anything, and just got stressed and you know, created a little more phenols than I would like. This one a little less so, though, actually. This one's a little more fruity and not as spicy. I don't know if that's persimmons coming through. I don't know. But it sort of smells like a beer with a slight fruit to it. That tastes really weird. Yeah, it definitely has a little bit of a funk to it. Kind of smoky, phenol-y. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It almost tastes like a little contaminated. I did contaminate the beer with Brett, technically. But like almost in an off-putting way. It's not like a nice clean little smoke or a Belgian IPA, which I've done at Brett. Belgian IPAs, and those can be a little bit more synced up. A little bit of dank, a little bit of fruit, and kind of work. But this is just too phenol-y, I think. Now the persimmon one's different. Very different. Has none of that going on, like, at all. Maybe this just got a little oxidized too on top of it being a little phenol-y. I don't know, but whatever the persimmons did, you know, maybe I got re-fermentation with the persimmons. I mean, I actually did. I saw it. And I wonder if that just cleaned everything up. Because this is really clean, really nice little fruit to it. Nice body. Dry. Very, very dry. Very drinkable. Feels like a really nice, light, fruity pale ale, to be honest. That's really good. These are really different beers for being the same batch. Well, there you go. Fun little experiment. Persimmons actually go really well in it. It's subtle. It's not very pronounced. But just enough, you know? I almost wouldn't say it's in there, to be honest. But it's almost like, oh, what's that light little fruit hop that's coming through? That's kind of what it tastes like. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos. The Europe video is coming kind of soon. And I do have some backlog videos. I haven't got to them yet because I've been terrible. I will get to them soon. And we will all watch them together and enjoy it. See you next time.